Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Welcome to another episode of Real Men Being Men. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this evening, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, y'all. Y'all know I'm just a question asker, but we got some folks here that is very important. Got some folks here that is very important. We're gonna start to my right. Rodney, tell everybody who
Yes,
you are, brother, and where you're hailing from.
Rodney Smith, Tequila, Georgia, hailing from Stamford, Connecticut.
Stanford, Connecticut. Okay, good deal, good deal. And to your right, we have the elder. Don, tell everybody who you are, brother.
Good evening. I'm Don Carlos
Don,
Shaw, and I'm from Kilgore, Texas, living in Atlanta now.
Kilgore, Texas. Well, that's a name for you right there. Kilgore, Texas.
How
That's
about
what it is. And on the phone lines, we have Captain Leonard. Leonard, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening? Tell everybody who you are, where you hailing from.
it?
Doing great. This is Saginaw, Michigan, calling from Covington, Georgia.
Covington, Georgia. Good deal. Well, just to get everybody up to speed, what we do here we on Real Men Being Men, we got what we call four square conversation. We have what we call four square conversation. We have four different squares and we talk about them 30 minutes. Sometimes we get to all four of the squares, sometimes we don't. So it's just a matter of how the conversation is going to flow, but we're gonna try to get to all four of them. As a matter of fact, we have six squares tonight, but we're not certainly not gonna get to six of them, but we're gonna get to as many of them as we can. So we're gonna start off with Rodney. Rodney, I'm gonna ask you this question, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Who is more and listen to the question, man, because it's not my wife. She listening, man. She gonna get on me for how I'm putting this question together. But it's gonna work. Who is more wrong? Who is more wrong? The officer it says if an officer is assaulting somebody, two officers, one is black and one is white. The white officer is assaulting somebody. It don't matter whether the person black, white, blue, purple, that he's assaulting black, white, blue, purple, or green. If he's assaulting someone and there's another officer, black officer that's there, and he knows that it's wrong, but he's not doing anything to help. He's just pretty much standing by. Who is more wrong, the one that's assaulting or the one that's just sitting by watching?
Well, from a legal standpoint, my understanding is that anybody that participates or is in the immediate area can be just as guilty as the one doing the assault.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of equal because again, they could have prevented it or reduced it, and the fact that they stood by, you know,
Mm-hmm.
means that
And
they're
just
equally culpable.
mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. Carlos, what do you say to that, sir? I'm sorry, Elder. Let me gotta call the brother Elder. I can't say Carl. I gotta say Elder. Elder, what do you say to that, brother? Who is more wrong, the one that's actually doing the assaulting, or the one that's just sitting by, knowing that it's wrong but doing nothing to stop it?
Well, you're complicit in it, even though you didn't start it. But you're complicit in it if you don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So your silence or your inaction is consent. You know. So I guess there are degrees of all that, but I would agree with Brother Rodney that they're equal.
Gary Griggs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So they're equal in. Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. Leonard, talk to me, brother. In this whole scenario, and we talking, there's two officers. There's a black officer and a white officer, and it doesn't matter who they're assaulting, what color or nationality the person that they're assaulting is. That's not what we counting on, right? That's not what we're leaning toward. But if the white officer is assaulting somebody and the black officer is there and he knows that it's wrong and it's not justified, who's more wrong? The one that's actually doing the assaulting or the one that's sitting by watching and doing nothing to stop it?
It's the one doing the assaulting
Mm-hmm.
because the police is not there usually to police his pardon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how the regulation works, but I do not believe that the majority of the time that officers are held accountable unless they are participating.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
This is why we see so many of them get away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. With doing nothing.
Because watching the fight don't make you involved in the fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, if it is a officer, that's different.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Leonard, are you talking directly into your
If there's
phone? Because you skip it. Leonard, you
yeah,
talking directly into your phone, brother? Are you talking directly into your phone?
yeah, if there's one in a supervisory capacity, then it's different.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 And see, say it again.
That was me.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna come to you in just 1 second. Let me go to Rico. Rico, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
I can't complain, man. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Rico, what's your take on this, man? If there's two officers there, say a black officer and a white officer, and see, and it doesn't matter what color the person is they're assaulting. That we're not gonna deal with that part of it. But if he's assaulting somebody, if one of the officers is assaulting somebody, the white officer is assaulting somebody, and the black officer is pretty much knowing that it's wrong, but he's just standing around and watching what is going on and watching what's happening. Who is more wrong? The assaulter or the one that's not doing anything to stop it?
I don't want to put a more on it. I'm gonna say he's just as wrong for being a coward.
Mm.
I mean, this is another one of those situations, where you could say, well, legally, the guy that's watching probably doesn't have any kind of, I'm gonna say any kind of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I guess, what if they were raping somebody or if they killed somebody and you sat back and watched it and didn't do anything?
Mm-hmm.
Would they be responsible then? I imagine it's possible. So, I mean, I don't know legally what the repercussions could be, but I'm going to say morally, you know what I'm saying, he's just as wrong, So, I feel like that phrase, what would Jesus do, would apply anytime.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking me what he should do, he should step in and defend that vulnerable person that's being wronged.
Mm-hmm.
To sit back and watch somebody have their rights violated. In some cases, depending on what it is, how bad the beating is, I don't know how bad the violation is. He may be legally responsible too. It depends.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. That's good. Gary, good evening, sir. How are you doing this evening?
I'm fine.
Hey, doing good, sir. We asking a question: if there's two officers and a black officer and a white officer, and we're not gonna deal with who is actually being assaulted. The white officer is assaulting somebody, and the black officer is just standing there, knowing that is wrong, Gary. But he's standing there and he's doing nothing to stop it. Who is more wrong?
I don't want to say who is more wrong. I was just going to say they're both wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're both wrong. You can't sit back and watch an injustice, immoral, whatever behavior and say, well, I had nothing to do, when you are just as much responsible for instituting or for providing the law.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you can go one or the other. They're both. Just like the ones in the brother had the knee
George Floyd
on his neck. The other one's white.
Yeah.
They're both.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. And that's a great example, because that's what pretty much where I was pulling from this particular question, because one guy he had his knee on his neck the whole time, but there was 3 or 4 other officers someone was like standing guard, make sure nobody else came up and did anything. So are they just as wrong? Rodney, what do you say to that?
Raheem,
Yes.
when I was in the bail bond business, I had bonded out several young men, 3 that I can remember, for murder. And they were just riding in the car with the person who shot the gun. And they charged everyone in the vehicle with murder.
Wow.
So, I mean, if it applies in one instant, it should apply in the other.
Mm-hmm.
So, good. I mean, I understand what Leonard was saying. They don't prosecute them. But technically, if I had been in the vicinity and I did not, I know in Connecticut there's a law with firearms. If you if you had carrying your firearm and you see a commission of a crime and do not do anything to intervene, you could be held legally liable for not doing anything.
Mm.
So I mean, it applies everywhere else. I don't know why it wouldn't apply to the police officers.
But see, and see, I understand exactly what everybody's saying, and y'all are making some great points, man. But am I wrong? Am I wrong if I just, because in certain cities, say in New York, you say Connecticut, but in New York, a lot of times what they'll do, man, they'll say, man, it ain't my business, and they're going about their business. So am I wrong if I do not decide to do anything? Hey, that's not my business. Let them do what they're doing. Come on, let's go. Am I wrong in that, Rico? I see you shaking your head, brother. Talk to me, because you know how it is in New York, in a place like New York and certain parts of California. Hey, man, that ain't my business. Come on, let's go.
I mean, but we just said that. We pretty much in our answers that, you know, you sitting back watching something like that and you in a position to actually be able to stop that situation, but watching it and allowing it to happen, you know, hey, yeah, you should be liable. Just like with the, you know, people that watch George Floyd, one guy stood guard.
Yeah,
He had his
exactly.
gun on everybody. You know what I'm saying? He want to follow orders. You get what I'm saying? But you can't stand and support wrongdoing, abuse, murder. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so yeah, I mean, you responsible. I mean, you can say all day long it ain't your business. Just because you say and feel that way doesn't mean that it really isn't. You know, I mean, you are, as a police officer, you should be the one that stop a fellow police officer from doing something like that, violating rights of human beings.
Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. And we got another caller. We're going to go to the call in just 1 second. Leonard, what's on your heart?
Not a whole lot, not a whole lot on my heart at all. Heart don't make laws. How you feel is how you feel personally. That don't apply to nobody else. So there's a difference between participating in a felony and police officers doing what they believe is their job or as they have been instructed to do.
Leonard, you're prior military. You was in the military. You served, and I appreciate and thank you for your service. But my thing is this, right? Even if you're in the military, and if they tell you, if your superiors, quote unquote superiors, give you a direct order to do something, and you know it's not right, are you obligated to do that if you know it's not right?
No, you can refuse the order and go to jail, or sometimes even in the field, you could possibly be executed on the spot.
Wow, just by not following out a direct order, even though you know it's wrong.
The order is.
Yeah, even what it goes against everything that you believe in. You know what they're telling you to do is not right. Say and let me reach way on over there. They're telling you go into that camp over there and kill everybody in that camp, and you go over there, you see that there's old people and kids in that camp. You don't want to kill no old people and no kids. That's not right. So you say I'm not gonna do that. Are you held responsible for not doing that, not killing them old people and kids?
No, but you would probably be taken into custody.
Wow.
You can
go ahead.
Yep, you can go into custody, but I would rather go into custody than moral fiber in me die, and I compromise it for just for a direction that I know is not about that. If I'm strong enough to have my faith and my beliefs with me as I get an AR-15 and know that I have to shoot to kill, but one thing is to shoot to kill when I know within me that is not what I should do at that or during that particular circumstance, then I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
If I was in Cameron Bay, or if I was in Vietnam during my era, I saw kids, I'm not going to shoot them. Now, if those kids are 14 and 15 and they're pointing a gun at me, and sometimes took place, then yeah, they're out. Next, but if they're not and they're armless, they don't have, then I'm not going to do that.
That's good. Ibrahim, good evening, sir. How are you doing this evening? Ibrahim, we could barely hear you, sir. We could barely hear you.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, much better. What do you say about that, Ibrahim? You're giving a direct order. You're in the military. You're giving a direct order to go over there and in that camp, and I want you to kill everybody in that camp, in that hut over there. Now you go in that hut, Ibrahim, there's old people and kids, small kids in that hut. You say, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. Are you responsible for that, for not following out that direct order?
Well, I was against the war. as
Mhm.
Martin Luther King was at that time, and I didn't go. But
Mhm.
it just so happened I didn't have to go because I had an injury. But anyway, no, I would not done it because I seen what happened to William Talley and all the soldiers that were with William Talley.
Mhm.
Y'all remember that? I remember the Vietnam War. They have him right here in Atlanta. Try him right here in Atlanta, Southeast Command, Regional Command of Indochina, Fort McPherson.
Mhm.
Was occupied by what's his name? anyway, no, absolutely. You know, you had the moral right to stand and refuse order, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
everybody around you, you know, you have strict code.
Mhm.
And I like to inform everybody, law is an emotion. Law can become in law. You know, if you understand law, study law, the color law is based on emotions and opinions of people. And law is a living thing. It can be changed or disregarded and returned anytime. You know, there's no such thing as psychosense law. Like
Mhm.
segregation was a law. You know, it's no longer a law because people's emotions and people's attitude and beliefs change their attitude. That's what
Mhm.
law is. There's no law that falls down from the sky. It's the stone, and that's where it's gonna be the rest of your natural born living existence. You know,
Mhm.
no such law.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do these circumstances. As a matter of fact, I go so further is I don't believe we should fund or agree to any wars of murder that America do without clear indicating exactly what it was and no such thing as collateral damage. No. America has been in my lifetime. I haven't seen one war that America entered into, including the current wars going on now in northern East Africa, where people are starving to death of famine, and they're dropping bombs. I don't see any war America in my lifetime that you can explain to me was nothing but for land and resources and was a moral law or a religious moral lawful law. It's about land and resources, domination and power. And we seeing the European powers taking a part of that. He was gonna come out on top. You know, everybody playing blink. I did
Mhm.
in my lifetime in Kennedy with a nuclear bomb against Khrushchev. You
Mhm.
know, seen it, been there, and I ain't seen a war in my lifetime. That's explaining to me. I like to see war. See people get blown up and killing people. We see it on live on TV. When the
Mhm.
Vietnam War, you see your cousin JoJo getting blown up. You know, a shot or shooting somebody. Hey
Mhm.
man, look what we got, man. He tearing up that boat. You know, but this day and time we don't see it. So we only have opinions, hollow opinions. But law, the only thing that we have in a civilized society, that law based the times and the society and the civilization at the time.
Good deal. Good
Any
deal.
other law, draconian law,
Mhm.
archaic law, it makes no sense.
I got you. Got you. Let me go to Elder. Elder, what do you say to that? What's on your heart, Elder? Elder, you there?
Well, I was thinking, saying, yeah, can you hear me? Let me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mhm. We hear you. Oh, Elder, your volume went away. Your volume went off. Something happened to you. Something happened to your volume. Can't hear you now.
Oh, okay. How
Some
about
happened.
that?
There you go.
You can hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, sir. Thank you. So, in some situations, don't they? If the guy that's perpetrating the irregularity, or I should say the brutality toward a citizen, don't they have like a little, don't they go by rank on some of the
Yeah.
officers that, they know that, hey, look, if he's higher than me, that I need to stay
Mhm.
back here in my place. I mean, and
Yeah.
I was looking, see, what I know about it is things that I see on TV because I've never been in law enforcement or anything. But I was looking at a show last night, and one of the things that they were talking about, hey, you don't interrupt another officer when he's doing something or something like that, something on that
Yeah.
same,
Mhm.
we kind of stick together as if we are, unified. Not to
The
say
blue,
that,
the blue law.
that's justified, but that happens.
Yeah, they got the blue law, and they don't want to
Mhm.
break that blue law, and that's
Mhm.
one of the things. That's one of the biggest things I think of right there. That's causing so many problems. They don't want to cross that line and break that blue law. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me,
Mhm.
Leonard.
Just listening, I was charged with and I believe they said somehow I was getting soldiers to disobey orders.
Did you?
I didn't even need an attorney
Mm-hmm.
to get out of that.
Okay.
For the very simple fact, me saying something with no rank to anyone of lower rank is not an order.
Mm-hmm.
People choose to do what they want to do. If I happen to be of the same opinion of them, does not mean that I was aiding or accessory to them or what have you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
So basically, you know, you can always take the high road and suffer whatever those consequences may be. That's always there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you explain it in front of a judge.
Yeah.
Not at that time.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Rico, are you back with us, brother? Rico, are you there? There you go. There you go. What's on your heart? What's on your heart, sir?
I'm just listening right now, man. I mean, I don't think I could go no further. I mean, you know, I said that earlier about what would Jesus do. I think that should apply in every aspect of, you know, your actions throughout a day.
Mm-hmm.
Even on your job. You know, me personally, I do believe in order and rules, but I look at my morals first. I always put my morals above those. So I ain't never really had a problem participating in a system or an institution, but I play by my rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, I've been in situations where you had to take oaths and you had to do all these swearing ins and you know, follow these lines and these rules according to this organization.
Yeah. Hey, Rico, let me jump in 1 second, Rico, because you just said something that sparked something in me, man. Because in certain organizations, even in the streets, when they got the gangs and stuff like that, there's a rank structure. And if somebody that outrank you in that gang or OG or something like that tell you to go over there and I need you to go over there and do this thing for me, whatever it is, you know, the words they use. If they don't, there could be repercussions come to that person for not doing it. And so go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, some people got stupid rules, you know what I'm saying? They got street codes.
Yeah.
You know, they got the blue line of silence, you know, I mean, you know, and I see those things and I see it and I'm like, okay, I see what y'all abide by. I see what y'all going by. I ain't. Masons got a code. Some things that they do. I would always, I'll say I would participate in the positive and the things that benefited me. And then when it came time to do the things that I felt like went against my moral code and my connection to the higher power, then I'd let them have that.
Yeah.
With no problem.
Absolutely. And be willing, ready, and able to walk away.
See, that's the thing about having courage and being willing to sacrifice. And be willing to face the repercussions that comes with standing up and doing the right thing. I mean, you know, from what I understand, somebody got nailed to a cross for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
go ahead,
I'd
bro.
like to just add on to that. The world gives you reputation, but God gives you character, and that should not ever be compromised because you can't buy it back. But few of our young people understand the difference between reputation and character.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing right there. Rodney, you had something on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I would say, I'm taking all this in, and what I'm getting from this is the reason why there's a breakdown in trust in society, police officers, and politicians and so forth, is because when you're sworn to an oath and you put on a uniform, you represent a particular set of norms. And when those norms are violated by the very people that are supposed to enforce those norms, it creates a breakdown in society where there's no trust and no consequences for their actions. So everybody sits back and says, okay, if the judges are doing this, okay, it's cool. They get away with it. If the police officer is standing by and watching this happen, that's the norm. And then when it's flipped on them, much like the Pelosi case, when it's flipped on them, it becomes an issue. So again, if a police officer is there, if I was assaulting you in the street, the police officer wouldn't stand there and let me go about my business.
Mhm.
He'd intervene.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. And so the point I'm trying to make that, yes, they have it gets down to, as the other brothers mentioned earlier, the character in the beginning. You put on a uniform to enforce the rules. You're going to live up to your character or you're not. Or you're going to live up to your oath. You're going to set an example or you're not. And so at this point, you have a lot of people, a lot of youngsters. Even, you mentioned gangs. Even in gangs, if me and Rico were in a gang together and I'm sitting there watching them get beat up by the Crips or the Bloods or whatever, I'm sitting there watching them. What do you think will happen to me when we got back to the camp?
Oh man,
I can say, man, Rico's on his own.
No, you're gonna get it, bro. You're gonna get
That's
it.
my point. So again, I think sometimes the gangs have more unity and more morals than some police officers in some cases.
Wow.
Because they'll step back and say, man, don't be go hitting that girl like that. Leave her alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
A gang member wouldn't stay there and watch another young girl be violated. He stepped in.
Yep. And
I mean, that's just my take on it. Yeah, there's a legal aspect, there's a moral aspect, and it's just if you're not going to represent what you do, don't do it.
Yeah, good deal. Elder, talk to me, Elder. Elder, talk to me, sir. Elder, you there? Hold on, Ibrahim. Elder, you there? Can't hear you, sir. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, there you go. Go ahead. Elder, I think
turn it back off.
I think Elder turned off. Ibrahim, go ahead.
There you go. You got it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just listening, and trying to think about situations. I'm trying to think about it from the standpoint of, let's just say, the other officer who is watching, because I think there's one other thing that's involved in all this. It would seem to me that motivation and intention of the perpetrator or of the aggressive officer, let's just say, is very important in this thing. Let's just say, because in the situation with George Floyd, there was a little premeditation in that on the part of the aggressive officer. That was premeditation because of their former, their association with each other. And so I'm wondering, does that make him more guilty than the others who are around them? Or you see, all of them are guilty, but does it make him more guilty? I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Well, see, and my take on that, and I could be totally wrong on this, but my take on that, man, all of them are sworn in to uphold the law, to carry out the law, and regardless of who it is that's breaking the law, that does not make you quote unquote above the law. And so this man with the knee on his neck, he's not above the law. And so them other officers are there, like Rico said, man, you had one, he was holding everybody off. So you're contributing to what's going on right now, and the other one's just standing around. If a police officer is breaking the law, it should be the responsibility of another police officer to say, look at here, man, you just broke the law. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. And I don't know if they're gonna go to that level, but at the same time, at least stop what's going on. At least. And so if they don't do that, to the least, if they don't do that, then I think they're totally wrong. That's just me talking. Ibrahim, I think you had something on your heart, brother. Talk to me. Ibrahim?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Anyway, now the main thing I was talking about is that we can't ignore one fact, that the law is based on, what the community or what people want the law to be at. They got an ability, we got a legislative process that make laws. Whether they're, we got a court to determine these laws are based within everybody's rights to the Constitution. We got executive branch and an enforcement part. So let's not get twisted about law because we're talking about police officers. Police officers are not sacrosanct. They're human beings just like we are. They make mistakes. Now, I remember one thing that reason I have beef with John Lewis, that he talked about how it was in the Edmund Pascal Real, the very first one, right? And he got beat up, but they were ordered to turn around, right? Now they chose to break the law. Why? Because they broke the law. Because there was a moral thing to it about they had a statement they were going to make. They were going to march all the way to Montgomery. right? And until they made it possible, legally possible, for them to march to Montgomery. The second time Martin Luther King was in the parade. First time he turned around and ran. The last time is you have Richard Johnson and Governor Wallace continue to march on to Montgomery. So they were within the law, right? Because they had a prison. But however, there is a constitutional purpose for you to protest. You have a right to protest bad laws or anything, or the government itself. And unfortunately, in the last few years, since 9/11, since all these so-called supremacists took over in the police force, in the military, all of a sudden, and judges, all of a sudden we get the thing just like back in my days when the Ku Klux Klan said something, that was judge speaking and the police speaking. So what they're telling you is that you don't matter. Your life, your rights, the law does not value you. And they use all these little codicils within the law, these the color of the law, to defy any legal method that you have to protect and defend yourself from time to time. And it takes the whole community to come up against that, and the whole community, all the people in the community, that come up against that till we have a norm, and we pass a law reflecting that norm, right? Now, so let's get back to reality here. Now, the police officers, right? They are trained and instructed in certain things. There's no blue law. We have blue laws on the books now. If a police kills somebody, commission of a legitimate process, he's not guilty. He's found not guilty, right? He's not guilty for that murder. I don't care who he killed. But there's always codicils to get him in trouble. The second thing is that we have to really look at that as far, they're a gang. The police union and the police are gangs. They're gangs. They're designed to one thing, to get the right information to use, get them the right lawyers, provide the money necessity to get them out of prison, right? And this is what we've seen over and over again. So I was a truck driver, and everything I did in that truck was under some legal thing. If I have an accident, it's still my fault because it was avoidable, not because I was in the right or wrong, because it was avoidable, right? They don't even call accident truck. It was avoidable. I pay penalties. I can go to jail. I can lose my life. Everything that whole men did to me, right? I can lose that simply because somebody tried to run into me and I wasn't following the letter of the law. Now, no longer the color takes place, right? It's flat and dry right in front of your face, right? Now, how come? Now, I'm operating an 80,000-pound vehicle going across country and 80,000 country like that, and I'm under this standard, right? But yet I haven't sworn an oath a police officer has, right? To defend and protect the government and the United States of America and the people and the citizens are therein. So now how does that turn around? Well, you're more concerned with your life than the life of the people around you, right? That you will take a wild shot at people, which has happened over and over again, and somebody get killed and injured in the process, and you're gonna blame the criminal, not yourself, for your negligence.
Right? Gotta wrap it up, man.
As in the Louisville thing, right?
Exactly.
The one also charged with negligence, shooting into an empty room. He didn't see anybody and wound up going to another apartment.
Ibrahim, we got to go to another square, brother. We got to go to another square. Like I said, we are already at 33 already, so we extended a little longer than what we should have. So let me go to another square. We're gonna keep this thing going. Don't go nowhere, Ibrahim. You stay right there. But Rico, I'm gonna start off with you, brother. You there? Rico,
Yeah, I'm right there.
this gonna be a very controversial. I believe it's gonna be a little controversial. We may not see eye to eye, none of us, but then all of us might. I ain't gonna know until I ask the question. So I'm gonna ask you this question: with this being November, December, January, all these different holidays coming about, Rico, what is a legitimate holiday?
What's a legitimate holiday? Well, I mean,
Yeah,
what you mean? What
because
what legitimate by what standard?
Well, what holiday is legitimate was the word I came up with, but what is a real? What is a real holiday? What they talk about Columbus
A
Day?
holiday that's actually worth observing. Is that what you mean? Like something that's really worth observing?
Come on, talk to me. Talk to me.
If I was to say that was a holiday that really should be worth observing, it should be maybe Mother's Day and Father's Day. You know, I really don't I really really don't get a real big kick out of celebrating these holidays. Maybe Independence Day, if you know you're a patriotic person. I think that might be legitimate, but
See,
yeah, I mean,
I struggle with that one. You mean July 4th? You mean about July 4th?
I mean, if you're patriotic,
yeah, okay.
If you're patriotic, you know what I'm saying, then that would be one for you. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I just don't like I said, honoring my mother and my father or whatever, you know, that to me, that's more logical and sincere. You know, that's one that I can observe, and actually the people that I'm observing can realize it.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Joseph. Joseph, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
Hey, good evening, sir.
Joseph.
Good evening, family.
Hey, good to have you,
Yes.
brother. But I got to ask you the question. What is, and I say legitimate, but what is a legitimate holiday? What holiday is legitimate? Like Rico said, I'm using his words. Which one is really worth the salt, the grain of salt that it is? Which one is worth observing?
I think the one that's organic, that comes from the people. Juneteenth was celebrated long before the federal government recognized it, and it should have been so. Like Frederick Douglass, who gave that speech, what to the Negro is the 4th of July? Is a day of all other days to remind him of brutality and oppression, right? But Frederick Douglass was speaking on the other side of the Civil War. So, and I think that's wisdom. That's being sober-minded, you know, being clear thinking. And like Brother Rico said, you know, if you're patriotic, you know, I guess, you know, you celebrate the 4th of July. I respect the 4th of July for the nation's sake, but I'm not naive. You know, now the Indigenous People Day, I think that's a very legitimate holiday, and I think it should be elevated more than it is now. I think Juneteenth should be elevated, and I think in the coming years there should be meetings of Black leaders, sororities, fraternities, so on and so forth, universities to make it more meaningful, other than just a barbecue and you know getting drunk or whatever. I think we should dignify it and elevate it, and make it a opportunity to really teach our children everything that we went through. Yeah. Okay. Now that's what a holiday should be to me. Now, unfortunately, corporate America commercializes all of the holidays.
Yes.
Even Christmas. You know, I think Christmas have a beautiful meaning if it is a day that we want to set aside to recognize that the Christ that we believe in was born. Not that we know the exact date. You know, we got Constantine's idea about it and others. But in the scripture, it says, to the pure, all things are pure. But to the defiled in heart is nothing pure.
Yeah.
If your heart is defiled, if you're mean-spirited, if you don't really have true love for people, then, you know, what you're talking about, or what you're trying to do, is defile it from the beginning. I mean, I think some people can do some good, but if your heart is right, I think that'll be a good holiday.
Yeah.
Whoever's celebrating that holiday.
Exactly. That's good. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? What is a legitimate holiday? Leonard, what is the legitimate holiday? One that's really worth pull out and dealing with everything that encompasses. Which holiday is a legitimate holiday?
My birthday.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Leave it to Leonard. Leave it to Leonard.
To me, I'm not the big. I believe all holidays are legitimate for somebody somewhere that's interested in celebrating it. So I could care less. There's a lot of holidays. If you don't mention them to me, I won't pay them no attention. But like, say for instance, this is what has something to do with Indigenous Persons Month or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, who's to say whether that's legitimate or not? It's for the people that want to celebrate it.
Yeah. So you don't celebrate all holidays, Leonard? So you don't celebrate all holidays?
Oh no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no. It's just what I feel like doing. I'm not, I'm not, and I don't know any other way to say it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am in this world, but I'm not of this world.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So what other people consider things that they got to do, systems and programs, I don't care nothing about none of that, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the type of person to try to nullify other people's celebrations and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Good deal. And yeah, Rico, that's what it is. A valid. Appreciate that, brother. What? And I'm changing my verbiage a little bit. What is a valid holiday? Let me go to Cornelius. Cornelius, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
All is well, my brother.
Hey, good to have you, sir. We're talking about holidays, and what is and I'm changing my verbiage. Rico gave me a better word there. Appreciate that, brother. What is a valid holiday?
That is better the way it's said when I heard it the first time we say legitimate.
Mhm.
But
Come on.
all the because I'm trying to say this respectfully. Man, okay, let me say this. Coming up in my life, man, as a child, we've been trained and influenced on so many different areas,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You grow up in households and your parents tell you this is that and that is this.
Mm-hmm.
So you believe that this is that and you believe that is this.
Yeah.
So as you continue to grow up through life, you celebrate these holidays, but as you begin to come into your own, you begin to recognize some things. I love what my man was saying earlier about if we celebrate Christmas as baby Jesus, even though we don't know the true holiday, the true date that he was born, we don't.
Yeah.
But this is how it was put, just like we just got through studying in the book of Leviticus about the Jewish holidays that they served with the I can't think of the names of them right now, but all the different holidays like the Passover and so on and so forth. And then you think about and I love what Leonard said. The one true legitimate the one is your birthday, the one that we know.
Yeah.
But then again, do we truly know when we were born? Unless someone told us and we see it on the birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Do we actually know that? Like my birthday is July 9th, but do I really truly know that unless somebody told me?
Yeah.
Or I see it on my birth certificate. So, and saying all that, you just, I guess they say you go with the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
If the people believe that now, the one that I don't like to celebrate is because I'm a believer now, it's Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to celebrate it.
Wow.
I used to go out, buy all this stuff and wear all this crazy mask and do all these different things and trick or treat and all that stuff. I did all that mess.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I got older, I was like, I began to find out, like, man, this is not of God. I ain't trying to go there with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I stopped celebrating that so-called, as they call a holiday. So I don't know at the end of the day, my comment behind that, after saying all that, which one is legit, I really, truly don't know.
Yeah.
But I just go with the status quo with the people that have taught me, and I enjoy the days and spending time with my family, my church family, and so on and so forth. Like I'm getting ready to go on vacation, and for Thanksgiving, I'm going down to Miami. We're gonna be celebrating.
They're going to Miami. They're going to Miami.
Yeah, going to South Beach, man.
Yes, sir.
My normal yearly vacation with my wife. My wife's birthday is the day before Thanksgiving. So
Wow.
we're going down there to celebrate her birthday.
That's good.
And
That's good.
and with the family, with her family. So, and that's how we do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Toussaint. Toussaint, good evening, sir. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Asking a question. And
brother.
what is a valid holiday? What is a valid holiday in your estimation? And you knowing everything about these holidays and all the stuff that's behind the scenes about these holidays, Toussaint, what is a valid holiday?
January 17th. That's my birthday.
Lord.
Look, man.
Yep.
What kind of other answer you thought I was gonna give you?
All right, hey.
The rest of them, and I've been trying, and I'm honestly, really, I've been searching it out, and I know the Jewish calendar. I understand all of that. I know the Jewish and the holidays, that the tabernacle, the feast of the I understand all of that. And I saw something in scripture that give reference to Easter.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, all of them man-made.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we celebrate in this country, traditionally, is man-made for some reason that has pagan ingredients to it.
Yeah.
Santa Claus,
Mm-hmm.
Easter Bunny, turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And none of it, I mean, you can find anything and match it with scripture. Anything. You can justify anything you want to, and you can put a scripture behind it. Anything you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't make it right.
Wow.
So I like the time off.
Mm-hmm.
Look, on the Christmas season, they give us 18 days off.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna go over there and say, oh, I'm a Christian, we don't celebrate Christmas. No, I'm gonna sit at the house and I'm enjoy the ride.
Exactly.
And they paid you.
That makes it
But
better.
as far as it being legitimate, I really can't give a clear answer on what I see,
Mm-hmm.
because we make it about money.
Yeah.
It's about profit and
Mhm.
gain. And we
Mhm.
come out, I see people, and I want to shut up. I see people wasting what they need, like their light bill and their gas bill, and they pile it up on a holiday, and 2 weeks later or following the next day after the holiday, they borrowing money.
Mm-hmm.
So it really
Mhm.
don't make no sense.
You know what I say, man?
That's my thought.
People buy what they want and beg for what they need. Let me go to Rodney. Rodney, what is a valid holiday?
Well, I take issue with all of them, because if you go back and peel back the origin of every holiday, they are not really what they represented on early on.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think those holidays are an opportunity for us to do our own research, to investigate, to learn. Valid holidays, as far as I'm concerned, are holidays you spend with the family, loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
getting bonding, just family time.
Yeah.
And or doing what's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times those vehicles that we talked about are economically driven. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, you know, I find more enjoyment in Thanksgiving holiday, when I'm able to spend time with the family, go out of town and bond.
Mm-hmm.
It has no. But when I look at the real origin of Thanksgiving and how the Indians were treated, how all the stuff's going on, you know, you kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth. You look at
It does.
Christmas and understand the dates are not coinciding, or nor the principles coinciding. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you look at all these holidays, none of them. 4th of July, they talk about, you know, independence and freedom and things like that, and we're the least free. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's you know, but like the other gentleman said, if they're gonna give me the day off and pay me for it, I'm gonna take it.
Absolutely. Elder, what's on your heart? What is a valid holiday, Elder?
Well, I thought I'd just go ahead and look it up while we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this says that the real meaning of holiday is, it's really mean holy day. You know,
Yes.
the word
Mhm.
originally referred only to special religious days. That's one definition, but the most common one today is a day of festivity or recreation when no work is done.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
so
So
I personally, and I'm just this is just who I am. I don't have any problem with holidays. I
Mhm.
think a holiday is usually comes into existence because for some reason someone has seen a group of people It benefits a group of people. It may be a religious group. It could be a educational group. It could be a culture, whatever the case may be. But I think that I think what happens is an increasing number of people appreciate, let's just say, a kind of festivity. So let's have Mother's Day. So one of the presidents said, let's just have Mother's Day. And what's wrong with Mother's Day? Nothing. Nothing's wrong. You're taking a day to honor your mothers. And I think that we can go a little too extreme with trying to figure out if something is legitimate or valid, when really it is really a day of recreation. And most people, like somebody said a few minutes ago, hey, you're off, you don't get paid. I mean, you don't have to work that day. And, all people are going to take it all kinds of ways. Now, I'll give you an example. For me, I don't like people calling Thanksgiving Turkey Day. That's just me. But they can call it whatever they want to call it. I do want turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You see, but but we all have our different opinions of things. Even people who are not religious, they're there to take those holidays, those days off, and everything. So I think we should just kind of give it a little rein to be whatever it is. It's what a number of people have thought is very important for some reason. It honors somebody, some culture, some task, or something that happens. So we just go with it.
Why does a lot of holidays, some celebrate it, but on the other side of it, it means the demise of certain other individuals? Because even with say Thanksgiving, there's a lot of indigenous or Indian people that were slaughtered. But people celebrate it. People celebrate Thanksgiving, but they forget about all the people that was killed and slaughtered and had lost their lives for this whole thing to be a reality.
Which to me does not invalidate Thanksgiving. It should be just demythologized and should be like clarified for what really took place. You don't just throw it out because that thing happened, because it is a good thing for people to thank God. But we need to be able to tell our kids and those around us. But remember, them sitting around the table and thank God for the Indians that they brought the this and the maize and everything like that. But at the same time, they slaughtered these same people. But we can bring that into the picture. And I think, what I thought, now I'm going to say something. It's kind of weird now. I hope this doesn't start anything. There would be people who would celebrate January 6th. They would call it the Citizens' Rebellion.
Wow.
The day of the Citizens' Rebellion. I was just thinking about it. That's our holiday, Citizens' Rebellion Day, January 6th. And some citizens, which would be lunacy, but you're gonna get a number of people who go with it.
And see, the saddest part, the part that sticks that dagger deeper into my heart is that's my birthday, man. This is January 6th is my birthday, man. Why y'all had to do all the days on the calendar?
My daughter's birthday.
Exactly. All the days on the calendar, man. Why y'all had to pick that day, man? Come on now. Man, y'all could have the day before, the day after. Man, leave that day alone, man. Oh my God. Let me go. Let me go to the phone lines. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, sir?
Well, it's very interesting. The ballot, for me, there's 3 holidays valid for different reasons. One is Martin Luther King Day. And not because it's about Martin Luther King, because it represents a lot of civil rights workers that who died and struggled, and including himself, for our basic rights. And to me, it's like Juneteenth Day. Juneteenth Day is we used to have a thing here in Georgia. Georgia found out before Juneteenth, so before June 19th in Texas, they found out in April, right? So it's 1863, the law was passed by Lincoln, right? And that's what it is. That's all it is, right? But it is a celebration. This is truly a celebration. It's our 4th of July. It's a truly celebration that finally the law had reached the nether regions of the Confederate Empire, and How you doing? Get it. And we are free. You know what I mean? How you doing? Your name is
I'm gonna come back to you, Ibrahim. It sounds like you got a little something going on over there, brother. I'm gonna come back to you. Gary, talk to me, brother. We're talking about holiday. What is a valid holiday? What's on your heart?
Well, what's on my heart is that all holidays are to put money in the pockets of business and corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is, whether you buy a sign, a towel, a blanket that will say this or say that you're recognizing of it. I'm reminded of Jeremiah 10th chapter, I think it's 3rd verse, where it says, "Be not like unto the heathen that goeth in the hills, cutteth down a tree and decorate it."
Mm-hmm.
That's Christmas.
Yes.
If we look at the Roman Empire, they utilized their opportunity back in those days to connect the birth of Christ when they didn't know exactly when he was born, to put that into the system for them to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my thing is, are we to celebrate the spiritual and the mental growth and enlightenment over running to the stores looking for sales to buy?
Mm-hmm.
And if we do celebrate our spiritual and mental growth, wouldn't that speak volumes for itself, for examples for those that are yet to come? Instead of, well, I'm celebrating this. Why can't we celebrate what this incredible God has done through us spiritually and mentally, so that we could hopefully make a difference in the lives of those that are yet to come? That's a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And we are here to celebrate the world and not the accomplishments of those individuals that are in our families and those that have come through. You know, like the brother said about Thanksgiving, the Native Americans, they fed the starving explorers or those that came to this land.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ripped them off of their own land. So what are we celebrating?
Wow. That's good. That's good. And see, that was my point. Exactly. What are we celebrating? Because we can't celebrate one part and negate another part of it that has a terrible history behind it. You can't negate it. You know, you can't forget about it. You can't say, well, we're gonna celebrate this, but we're gonna forget about that right there. That doesn't set well with me. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? We got 2 minutes before we go to the next square.
You know, we started having a Juneteenth in my hometown in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And it went haywire. It started out perfectly. I mean, it was like the perfect type of reunion atmosphere. You had all the vendors, people with the culture, the gospel singing, and you know, we had some hip hop. And as time passed, you know, I gotta hold myself accountable. I was one of them that got up there, rapped, and was talking about the stuff that's costing people their lives now. I was one of those people that did that in that atmosphere, just totally the wrong place for it. And the atmosphere ended up getting worse than that, to the point to where even though it got humongous, it turned into where people started fighting and shooting at it. So they shut it down. The city wouldn't have one again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to want to try to put one back together right before COVID. And it was right along the lines what Joseph was talking about. That's why I was, you know, smiling when Joseph was talking about that, because I was like, man, you know, we got to quit making everything we observe and honor a party.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it turns into a party, then it turns into something different than that after a while. And so I came up with a plan to do a 4-day. At first I called it a workshop, and then I, you know, modified it and turned it around to a Juneteenth conference.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, thinking along the same lines as Joseph was talking about, you know, I want to get the colleges involved, the HBCUs, the representatives, the Divine Nine, the politicians. I want to get every financial literacy, all those things we need to address, mental health, all of those things for a week. And COVID shut it down, but we're in the process now trying to put it back together. Well, I'm gonna probably leave it in somebody's hands. But then they came around with this holiday thing, and I was like, man, they just found a way to market. They just made it. They just found a way to turn it into something, you know, that you could put out there and sell.
Monetary. Yep.
Right. You know, and I really didn't like it. And you know what really got me the most about it, you know, is I feel like if anything should have been a holiday, it should have been Proclamation Day, Emancipation Proclamation Day. And I was just wondering, how did that ever get skipped? You know, when they ended slavery with the Emancipation Proclamation, if based off holidays, we use holidays as a reason to observe and honor people that did great things, or you know what I'm saying, that great moments in time, you know, like Memorial Day. That's a legitimate holiday to me, valid. But I think, you know, when we decided to say, well, we want to honor a day that deserves to be memorized and honored, man, what deserves to be honored more than emancipation? So they skipped that and went to Juneteenth. So I'm like, did it really come from a sincere place? Or did you just take advantage of the opportunity because we created another momentum, just like hip hop, that you had to pay attention to where you finally say, well, hey, if they're going to make this bigger deal off of it, let's sell it to them. Yeah. And we jumped head first into it. When I started putting this Juneteenth together, I went to a club that this woman has of youth, young black teens. And I know a lot of the parents. So I asked them, did they know about Juneteenth? This was in 2020. They didn't know anything about Juneteenth. I said, well, did y'all ever hear anything about the Juneteenth that we used to have? Yeah, we heard about it. What did y'all hear? Oh, we heard that y'all used to have it in the park and it was fun and everybody used to be there and it was a good time. And it sort of made me think about the people that was twerking on the ambulances a year before last in California. And I was like, yeah, I said, y'all heard the wrong thing. And it bothered me because that's what they wanted to experience. They didn't want to experience Juneteenth for Juneteenth. They wanted to experience the atmosphere that their parents still fantasize about till this day. Because it was crunk. It was lit.
Freaknik.
That's what it turned to. So these kids these days, they wanted that experience, but they didn't even know what Juneteenth was about. That was saddening.
Exactly. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Phone lines open. Give us a call. We love to have you. This is Real Men Being Men. We're here every Tuesday from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. DKM Media Group and Associates. Let's keep this thing going. We're going to go to our next square. And Joseph, you there? Joseph, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, good deal. Joseph, we're gonna start off the next square with you.
Okay.
And we have all. This is
trying to be helpful.
No, yeah, this is a little lighter. This is a little light. This is a lot lighter right here than what we've been talking about. And we have all done it. Dated outside of our price range. What does it mean? What does it mean, Joseph, to date outside of your price range, and how detrimental can it be? Rico laughing already. Look at that joke.
Can I get in one last thing? Because I want to help Rico out on something.
Okay, hold on for a second, brother. I'll come back to you. Hold on. I know you're there. I'll come back to you. Let me go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, well, I met this girl, man. She lives in a very nice neighborhood, boy, in San Antonio. And I mean, she was gorgeous. Boy, she was gorgeous. But I knew she was one of those high-priced sisters, you know. And I had a little raggedy car, but she took to me a little bit. But I knew I had to step my game up, so I joined the Army. I think after about 3 weeks being in the Army, she sent me a Dear John letter, man. She met somebody else. But yeah, I tried to keep up, you know, but then I learned something.
I don't even want to be in this Army no more.
Yeah. Hey, I realized something, that if they couldn't accept me where I'm at and my status where I was trying, and then that wasn't the one anyway. But you know, I get turned off by that, you know, in later years when women want to get these Gucci bags, these high priced Gucci bags and all this other stuff, man. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, they got to go shop in Buckhead and, you know, get all this, that, and the other. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, you don't own a house, but you want to perpetrate with all this kind of furs and stuff. You know, that don't make sense to me.
Yep. Look here. Tell
So
what you need to
if
do
you
is
ain't trying to
tell them.
invest no money, if you invest your money and come up with me, then I don't need them nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. See, what you need to tell them is it changed. It used to be it done changed to now it's Bankhead. We done changed the name. It's Bankhead now. You know, you make a left instead of a right. We're gonna go to the other neighborhood.
Yeah. Meet me at Bankhead.
Exactly. Exactly. I guarantee you they're not coming. I say I guarantee you they're not coming. Let me go to Rodney. Rodney, what do you
Hey, turn some real estate into gold.
Exactly. Rodney, dating outside, what does it mean, man, to date within your price range? Have you ever got caught up into that?
Well, you know, like the old saying goes, tricking ain't tricking if you can afford it.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
But I equate the situation to a vehicle. It's like that Mercedes Benz I used to drive. It got a lot of attention and looked good. You know what I mean? But when I had to put $800 on the brakes, you know, $100, $200 oil changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My Nissan Altima ain't so bad. You know, so the same thing with dating, because I've been in a situation where, you know, I looked at that check when it came to the table. I said, man, it's, you know, we can't do this no more. But
I ain't gonna see you no more.
You stay on the right side of the menu. Stay on the left side. But,
exactly.
The point I'm trying to make you is that we've all done it. I mean, it's an experience because a lot of times then we realize that long term is not where you want to be. It's not for the good of you. As the brother just said, when you start investing time and money and things like that, and realize that, you know, that money can be better spent on somebody that really cares about you, kind of move on to what really matters.
There you go. I was going to go to Rico, but I'm gonna hold off on Rico because he laughed too hard when I said this. So let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what does it mean, man, to date within your price range?
Man, you know what? I'm glad I don't know nothing about that. Because I can't imagine going. How do you do that?
Man, look at here. It's easy to do, brother.
How?
Man, look at here. You trying to impress her? Trying to impress that girl. That's I mean, I could get back this big pretty picture. I could paint this, but it boils down to trying to overly impress this girl. You know, you trying to take out with some champagne. You ain't got nothing but Budweiser money. Man, look at here, man. You know, come on now. You talking about you gonna promise this girl champagne? We gonna go out and get some filet mignon, some filet. Can't even say it. Filet.
I'm going there, look at the menu and say, babe, I got gas.
I'm gonna give somebody else a little bit more this time because I really wasn't out there like that doing those types of things, and I don't do things I can't afford.
There you, hey Leonard.
So I don't even have a story to tell you about it. It was a restaurant where I lived that I couldn't afford.
Okay, big money. And not everybody big money like you now. Big money grip.
You know, but I'm not gonna even plan a date that I can't afford.
Yeah, well, you know, McDonald's always got a value meal. McDonald's always got a value meal. I'm just trying to tell you. Exactly.
I think I understand where you coming from, but I would rather listen because I ain't even finna put myself out there like that and be looking stupid. I'm not that.
Hey Leonard, what's that saying? You used to say, what girl you like?
I like the kind that like me, bro.
Rico,
I don't know nothing about the lifestyle some of y'all been living.
Man, look here. I'm gonna tell you something, brother. It's real easy to do, man. You see that old girl, man. You want to impress her. You want to take her to this nice fancy thing. Let her know that you got it. Girl, I got it. Like how T.I. say, go get it. I'll buy it. You know, Rico, talk to me, brother. What does it mean, man, to date within your price range?
Man, you know, I was gonna go to when I was in college, man. I started college at 17, so I was still sort of, you know, young-minded. I looked at 21-year-old girls as women. I thought they were grown women because I was 17 and I had a little grocery store paycheck. I might clear $110 a week. I might clear $110 a week. So I got cleaned out a lot on on that right there, man.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I had to play it cheap. But man, didn't nothing hit me like when I went to New York. Keisha. Oh man, I miss Keisha. I sure remember Keisha.
Boy, it sound like you reminiscing, brother. Sound like you reminiscing. Take a second.
I lost contact with him, man. So I wanted to impress her. And I was gonna impress a friend too. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little restaurant down the street from the hotel. We stayed at the Pan American Hotel. And it was the restaurant belonged to a big time soccer player from Brazil or Colombia or something. You know what I'm saying? Had his picture up there. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take him now. She gonna really like that. You know, I'm a country boy from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I'm up in New York City. She from North Carolina. But she got it going on. Everybody I meet got it going on. So I got to step my game up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I done kicked it in Atlanta, but it ain't quite like Atlanta. It's a little bit more.
It's different.
So, I go down there to the restaurant, man. I invite her. Yeah, you and your friend. You come on. I got it. You know what I'm saying? I'll Big Daddy Warbucks. You know what I'm saying? I got it going on. I get down there, man. I went to ordering that food. Then they put their own gratuity on there. I didn't even know what gratuity was. I was like, hold on, what's all this right here? I looked at the menu. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, well, it's too late to bag out now.
Yeah. I ain't gonna look like food.
But then I went in my pocket. I didn't have enough cash.
Ooh.
And I had left my card at my hotel room. So I had to leave and go back to the hotel room. I had to walk and leave them sitting in there. Embarrassing, but I had the money, no problem.
Yeah.
But I thought I had bought enough to cover what we was gonna eat. I wasn't expecting this. I was like, okay, I don't show it out now. I bit off more than I could chew. Man, on that way back though, I thought about just not coming back. I said, I done made it up out of there.
They on their own.
I went on back and paid it. Because I couldn't let myself look like that in front of her, man. I mean, she was a catch, you know what I'm saying? But man, I thought about that and I'm like, but that's what you get for trying to show out.
Exactly.
That's what you get. I thought I had the cash in my pocket. I didn't have enough at all.
I just gotta ask the question, brother. How long did you hear about that? After that night, how long did you hear about that? Because I know.
Oh, it was cool because I came back with the cash. I mean, with my card, but yeah, man, it was just I wasn't expecting. Like I said, I thought I had enough in my pocket to handle it. If I'd have known that, I'd have left a friend. Now I'm trying to show out, a Southern hospitality in New York. It was working. It was working great in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
It costs too.
Costs heavily. Cornelius, talk to me, brother.
I was laughing at Leonard when he was talking earlier. He said he never experienced that, and you said it's easy to do.
Yes, sir.
It is easy to do, though.
Yeah.
I think back at the time, man. I look back at sometimes, man. I remember my mother gave me my first American Express card, and it was this pretty light-skinned girl that I liked so much. And I'm gonna end it with something and let you know how much I really liked her. Man, I ended up renting me. I ended up charging and renting a candy apple red Camaro. Just to impress her. And that bad boy put me in debt because I know I couldn't afford to rent that car. Charged that bad boy. The car took her out to dinner on my first American Express and couldn't afford to pay none of that stuff.
Wow.
That bill came in. I'm looking all cross-eyed and my mom's like, what was you thinking, boy? I got in trouble for that, man. But to end it with this show you how much I really like this girl, man. She was going to church before I got saved. She was going to church, man. And I joined the church, got baptized.
Good Lord.
And had my mama, my auntie family all come out to my baptism and everything. Knowing I wasn't trying to get nowhere near God, wasn't trying to do nothing, just trying to get in the pants, but was trying to impress that girl.
Lord Jesus.
And man, we ended up breaking up the following week, and I ain't go back to the church since. Go back to the door. So, man, I was really trying to impress that girl, man. I was trying to get at her. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
And
Boy.
that's something got myself in some serious trouble. But man, I got to get ready to get back to work, man. But yeah, I had to think, Raheem. I was thinking real hard when you brought up the question, and then all of a sudden that came back to me, man. I ain't thought about that in years.
Look here. Boy, look
I
at
can
that.
imagine that in the movie, man. He needs to make a skit out of that. These
Exactly.
when they got baptized for that booty.
Big butt baby hair and a smile get you every time, brother. Big butt baby hair and a smile. It will get you.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, man. I'll have y'all later. God bless you.
Hey,
Love
God bless you, brother. Love you as well. Hey, Elder, talk to me, Elder. I know you got a story for us, brother. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Well, you know, I don't really have a story for you. I'm just listening.
Oh, he look.
I don't
He
have a story.
he don't want to share. He don't want to share. But watch this. I know. I know who do have a story. Ibrahim, tell us your story, brother.
Lord, I thought you weren't gonna come to me. Before I talk about it, I would like to tell Rico about Juneteenth. There's a Juneteenth national thing you sign up. Juneteenth is about Emancipation Day. That's what it's about. It's just that all the states down south had different months. Georgia was in April, blah, 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 right? Alabama had a day. But anyway, so that's accumulation of all the dates. That is Emancipation Day. Now, getting back to, another thing, you can also call Bob Johnson and look up Juneteenth Atlanta. They had the biggest Juneteenth in the country, right? And that was this year and the previous years, right? I used to work with him on Juneteenth. But he had a big, he take the whole Centennial Park up for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, June 19th, or whatever. June 19th was Father's Day, so they have a big Father's Day thing. So yeah, it's already set up. And I think you're right about it, because a lot of people party, but don't put a lot of Black history in there. That's why I always had problems with Bob Johnson. There's not a lot of Black history, but they have hundreds of cars and everything coming up. But anyway, now getting back to the matter at hand, the piece of resistance. You know, I found out that if you dress like you dress a certain way, you know, like a traveling person, and people help you get where you're going. So I always dress, not to impress, but I dress modest, but I put it on. I show you the picture of the suit. I put it on, right? And but look, when I go up, I size up, look at jewelry and everything. I be going for the money. You know what I mean? If you want the substance, one got some long cash. Because they want to be playing them girls out, they fake stuff on and turn them clothes back in. They gonna take you to the bank, bro. They ain't got nothing. They want you to have that life expectancy like girls in California. They want you to life expectancy. So I go up in there, right? I put on airs, I talk, right? You know, I sit down, fix a drink, and the first thing I do is say, well, good lady, what's she drinking? Now, see, a modest woman, she will order exactly what she's drinking, right? A put on, she gonna order the most expensive thing in the club, right?
Yeah.
And they brought you to come to me and say, well, hey, this is what the lady. I said, no. I said, get a lady what she drinking. You get a lady something entirely different. I ain't gotta say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's what everybody. But look, but people are impressed by you carrying yourself like a real person and talking smart, right? And also crashing parties. When they start inviting you to these parties and everything, go, man. Don't be trying to take out club and ball and out price and out spin, right? You can't do it. I tell you, can't do it. But go crash. It said, go to a baby shower. Yeah. We're going to baby shower in Miami. Oh, we having a family reunion on South Beach, right? I know about South Beach, brother. Don't go to South Beach, your wife. You want to keep your marriage. But anyway, but that's the way I roll, man. I go for the money. I found out later in life, a young boy kept me on that. He said, I don't mess around no women that ain't got no money, ain't got their ride, a good job, or a good something, and a bit in a house or something like that. I don't mess with them, you know? And that's all I do, right? Now, if I'm out looking for a quickie, or hanging around, oh yeah, I go on project. I used to be Project Run or whatever. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna be trying to make no life there, because I know it's gonna nickel and dime me to death. Got every little thing. Every little thing. Somebody got something she ain't got. But you go with a woman that's substance that got something and know how to handle things, ain't spoiled, but can handle herself right. That's the best relationship you have, man.
Good deal.
You be wealthy for it.
Absolutely. Good. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Good deal. Well, y'all, so I'm saying silly, boy. Tucson. What does it mean, brother? What does it mean to date outside of your price range? And Tucson, tell the truth. Have you ever done it, man? Have you ever tried to impress that girl? No, you didn't have it, man. No, you didn't have it. But yet and still, Tucson.
Man, yeah. Wait, I'm gonna say 2 words, Leonard. Georgia Peach.
Oh, Lord.
They got it about you too, bro.
Caught at the end of the game.
Mm.
I think I'm still paying for it. I still owe $54,000 out of my retirement.
Good Lord.
But daggone it, she was fine. She's still fine. God almighty. God almighty. Lord have mercy.
Don't be a fish anything.
Don't do it. No, sir. I'm talking about everything ain't good, that glitter ain't gold.
Tucson say she's still fine. Oh, Lord.
Oh, hilarious.
Okay.
In the 60s at 5. How you be in the 60s?
And still fine.
Ain't got no stomach, ain't got nothing going on. But anyway, I just had a flashback.
You had one of the moments, bro. Go.
Look, let me tell you something, bro. I'm gonna just say, bro. Look, when you, anytime somebody have you go to the extreme, now he's gonna say Tucson was a fool. In order to get with her, you gotta fool yourself to get to her house.
Mm.
Run, nigga, run.
You gotta wait a minute now. wait a minute now. Hold on.
There you go, bro. I know what you're talking about, man.
I can't. No. Both of y'all stop. Both of y'all stop for a second, because I got to get some clarity on this. Did you just say you had to blindfold yourself to go to her house? You didn't mean that.
No, there's some women don't want you to know where they stay. And if you are that type of fella that's willing to go to the extreme, to get with that person because she is like that and a bag of chips, I'm just saying. You think I'm bright? You think I'm a bright person, but I've been ignorant in my life.
Rico, help me, brother. Help me, brother.
So
Now,
I'm just saying, well, y'all gotta be sweating like babies.
Yeah, say amen. Somebody say amen. Rico, talk to me, brother.
oh, you love somebody out with Gary?
Huh?
Ain't
No,
Gary on him?
No, Gary had to hang up.
Okay, I know. Elder stepped out on us.
Yes, he did.
He got some stories to tell.
Yeah,
But he ain't gonna reveal them, man. But I mean, you know, that's how it goes, man. I mean, when you young and you got your nose wide open, that's what they call it, having your nose wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, man. I mean, you'll do some things trying to impress that person.
Yeah.
I mean, but man, I think Cornelius took the cake, man. And then who was that? Joseph? Was that Joseph said he joined the army?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness, man. I mean, I thought I did some stuff, man. But goodness gracious, man. So I mean, it's just that's just to me, man. It's just it's funny to hear that, man, because I have seen and witnessed men do some very wild things to impress a woman. I mean, man, look, I had a buddy one time. I was so impressed with this one. I took my buddy to see her. I was like, Master, you got to see her, man. She got great eyes. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's seen her. Man, why this joker done bust out singing and turning flips and everything? He tried to take her from me.
Good Lord.
He was really trying to impress her, man. I was like, what you doing, man? What you doing
Turning
on flips for? You got on church shoes, quit. I mean, people do some wild stuff when they trying to impress a woman, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes both ways too. The women will go through some changes to impress us too, but yeah, man, I've seen some men do some weird and strange things to impress a woman.
And it happens every day, man. A day don't pass by. Now it may not be us because we at a certain age, man. Well, we hopefully we're past all that. But I'm gonna tell you something. We sit back and we watch and we observe. And Rodney, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Fellas will do some strange things, man, and go against each other all day long. Go against like Rico just said, man. He took his boy to see the girl. And he's trying to get her, man. He's doing it, singing and turning flip, man. Man, what's wrong with you, man? Because that's crazy. Thinking about looking back at it, that's crazy. Rodney, what's on your heart?
Well, no, I was thinking of some stories that I guess I kind of brought the memory back. Back in the 80s, before I got married, I had this 1965 lime green on green GTO, beautiful car. And a friend of mine, young lady I really liked, said, I'm going back to college down in Virginia. Why don't you take me to Virginia? Middle of the night, I figured, let's get in the car. I drove down there trying to impress her. I got halfway to Virginia. I got sideswiped by a tractor trailer. The spoke, the lugs on the truck, it looked like a shark had bit up the side of my car. You know, I mean, just tore it up. I mean, mint condition the car was in. And then I finally got back home. I said, that was a crazy trip. I was trying to impress her, thinking I'm gonna drive to Virginia, drop her off, and drive back. You know.
Yeah.
I ruined a lime green 1966 GTO, beautiful car too.
I'm gonna ask you.
Looked out the window. I said, "What did I do?"
I'm gonna ask you a rhetorical question. Now, this is a rhetorical question, so don't say a word. What the world happened to make you get in the line of that truck like that, man? To where you lost control of the car, man? What the world was going on? Anyway,
I was thinking.
It's rhetorical, brother. Don't say it. Don't say it. Exactly. Don't say a word, but we're gonna leave that right over there like that. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, a couple of things that come up because I have sons, and you know, one of them he's 14 now, and then the other one is 23. And I can remember when they would come home sometimes, and I guess the little girl caught their eye, and then one of the little girls would have a habit of saying little things like, "You need to buy me this. You need to buy me that." And we send them right back to them little girls and say, "You let them help us." No, we don't get down like that.
Exactly.
And I can remember how a lot of this has when I used to compare it to when I came to the South, because fools and their money are soon parted down here. And things when I was involved out here, you know, I would go to strip clubs and things like that. But if I go to a strip club, I'm coming to get some money, not leave money. And so there is it just, and I would tell those girls, because, you know, I'm a nice guy. And so, you know how they come on to you because they think they can separate you from your money. And so I used to always tell them, when I see a guy come in the door, there go your money right there. Go to work. Go to work.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
They think they can and they will get your money.
If you're weak.
Because you got them, they're very skilled at it. I'm just laughing so when I think of like what the brother, you joined the army, rent the car, all this, that, and the other. And it's just so funny to me. But, you know, I'm even if you have sons, let them know their boundaries and their limits. Exactly.
We're ready to go to our fourth square, y'all. And let me see. Let me go ahead, Rico.
I want to say one thing, man. I might have just forgot what it was gonna be. Go ahead. It'll come up in a minute.
Okay. Let me go to Elder. Elder, I'm gonna start this next square with you. And Elder, you got to be 100%, 110% transparent. Okay. You got me?
I hear you.
Okay, my man. No, it's not that tough. It's not that tough. I need you to fill in the blank. Okay. I'm at a point in my life where
I'm at a point in my life where I don't feel that I have to impress anybody about anything that I own, that I am capable of doing, that I know, or my relationship with God and all that. I don't have to impress anybody.
That's good. That's good. Rodney, I'm in a point in my life where
I'm at a point in my life where basically I don't tolerate too much nonsense and try not to waste too much time on stuff. Because as you get older, you realize time is getting shorter. And so I try to prioritize what I do, and a lot of nonsense I don't have time for.
That's good. That's good. Toussaint, I'm at a point in my life where oh Lord. Oh Lord. Leonard, get ready, Leonard.
This is broadcast, and no, but I don't have time for foolishness. I don't have time. I joke, clown. I love to have fun, but I'm not gonna put up with anybody's foolishness. None. Period. I don't care what your title is. I don't care what your position is. I don't care where you come from, how much money you got. It don't matter to me. Don't bring me no foolishness.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna put up with it.
That's good. That's good. Let's go to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, I'm at a point in my life where
I'm at a point in my life is where I got tolerance 0. And the other thing is that I'm still addicted to young, fabulous women. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. I'm too old to be thinking about it, but there it is. Right? The other thing is, I don't bend down to nobody. I don't look at no man greater than me. I don't think no man or woman greater than me. I don't think nobody's beneath me. No, that with the grace of God, I could be either way. I could be that person, right? So I don't look down at people, and I sure don't worship people. I don't worship man. And I believe the most important to me is the community, our state of affairs, our people. That's the most important thing to me, and I always have been. I was raised like that. And my family, my blood. That's the most important thing to me. And God is very important to me.
Yes, sir.
You know, to do what I can, and when all other things, whatever foolishness I do with God. But you know what? Life too short to be sitting around in the house, you know, looking at TV, looking at the spouse, right? And I could be out here doing what I do, you know, doing something meaningful, important. The last 2 days I have, you know, I don't want to make an imprint on the world and be like, I don't leave no marks, no trace of my being there or where I went or where I gone. But, you know, in everybody's hearts and mind, some I said or some havoc I caused will be a purpose to them. And that's what I believe in, deep in my heart.
Good deal.
But Lord have mercy, let me get to a part and they start doing a slide and the young girls started sashaying around. And man, look at I'm invigorated. I become like 30 again. You know what I mean? I could just like do everything, you know?
Oh,
and I go
Lord.
home and pay for it.
Yeah, you gonna go. Yeah, you gonna go home. You gonna go home at the roll. You got to roll out of bed 3 days later. Got to roll out of the bed 3 days later because you can't get up. Yeah, okay.
You absolutely right. You take my wife to tell you, boy. You go out there and bag of food, you want them. You know, 3 days later, I'll be like, oh, baby,
Good deal. Exactly. Leonard, I am at a point in my life where
I would say I'm at a point in my life where I don't owe nobody more than I owe myself.
That's good.
I trust me. I don't, there's no out of control, none of that. I trust me.
That's good. Rico, I'm at a point in my life where
I'm not too impressed or flattered by things anymore. And even with, you know, being flattered by compliments, you know, sometimes people can compliment you, and I'm still not too flattered by that. I used to, you know, get a little crazy a little bit, you know what I'm saying, in the past when I was younger, you know, especially with the women. Just finding out that sometimes people will actually flatter you or compliment you just to bait you into a situation. Yeah. You know, so I'm not impressed by that anymore, you know, by flattery. I'm not impressed by people that's trying to flatter me or impress me.
Good deal.
Oh, and I thought about what I was gonna say earlier too, you know what I'm saying? We was talking about that being expensive. This is gonna be something good and wise for anybody, especially somebody young if they're listening to this. Don't ever go out of town and meet somebody new and then have them to recommend where y'all go out at on the date, because that is going to become very expensive. If you don't know where you're going, but you depending on them to show you around and pick the restaurant.
Exactly. And be careful who you let know where you land your head at. That's that's just old school. Somebody told me that a long time ago. Man, be careful where you don't let everybody know where you laying your head. If you out of town and you meet all these new people, don't let them know where you laying your head at, brother. You play that close to yourself. But Rico, I'm staying with you, brother. I find my peace. This is where I find my peace, not nobody else's peace, but my peace. Where do you find your peace, Rico?
Man, when I'm alone, walking out in nature, early in the morning when there's nobody out and there's no stirring or going on. I mean, no cars moving, no buses running. When I'm just out, man, just looking in the sky. I've always loved to look in the sky, man. Look at the stars and the moon and stuff, man. I mean, yeah, that's me right there. I love that.
That's good. That's good. Elder, I find my peace. This is where I find my peace. Elder, where do you find your peace?
I find my peace. I find a lot of my peace at my instrument when I'm creating music. I find a lot of peace when I'm creating music.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Rodney, what do you say to that, man? I find this is where I find my peace, not nobody else's peace, but I find my peace here. Where's that place, Rodney?
Well, I got to get back to it, but my peace is when I'm riding in my convertible that I used to own and looking at nature, the sun out, just enjoying the breeze, looking at the trees, and just being able to kind of meditate. Little jazz music, open air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got time to digest things and think things through. So I find peace driving convertibles and in the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. Leonard, this is where I find my peace, not nobody else's peace, but I find my peace. Where do you find your peace, Leonard?
I would have to say in the Holy Ghost. When I'm communing with the Holy Ghost. That's a lot like what Rico said, because that's a lot of times when it happens. But it's anywhere. I can take my peace anywhere because it's inside.
That's good. That's good.
So I find where other people may be in chaos.
Okay, good. Ibrahim, where do you find your peace, brother?
Well, everybody kind of touched the base. I find my peace in just thinking of physics, doing calculation of physics, or thinking about impossible and improbable things in nature and space and things that I know, and the properties and values and things. The other thing is just like driving late at night. I've did it so much all my life. I go millions of miles at night. Looking at the stars, it's so dark. You can see every star in the heaven. You can see the Milky Way. And at times, I like to be alone in chaos and noise. I like to be like at a jazz concert in the middle of a bunch of people, and I'm in my own little bubble. And when I'm driving and traveling long distance, my wife and people said that I'd be in my own zone. I just like zone out.
Yeah.
Like I'm like hypnotized. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about everything around me, but I can focus on something. You know what I mean?
That's good.
And but interaction with people and things, and trying to put all my thoughts together, I have a big problem. But I can find a lot of peace in reading the Quran and all the different, and reading about history surrounding all these different books and religious books, the Bible, the Torah, Talmud, whatever, the Bhagavad Gita, and saying and putting things in context and looking at people's lives, Black history. I do a lot of that.
Exactly.
I put in the context what was going on, how the people were dealing with things then. And that gives me peace to know that I don't feel sorry. I don't feel bad. I can always say, well, look, they did such great things. How come we can't do it again or do better? Rather than retrospect, and that's why I argue with a lot of people about history.
Good deal.
To put it in context.
And I thought one of the things, Ibrahim, I really thought that one of the things, and you may have said it when you said driving, but I thought one of the things you was gonna say when you was on your bike. I thought there was gonna be one of your answers right there.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. When I get on these little back roads in Georgia, man, you just don't know. It's just like you're in a world by yourself.
Yeah.
You can see deer running across the road. Thank God they didn't run across in front of me. You can see animals. You can see everything, man. And lakes and springs pop up that you don't notice in a car.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's just birds and stuff, and it's a huge experience.
Exactly.
You're placing your wheel upon things around you. for you placing your will upon things around you and making it happen, for no reason at all, for nothing, just to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Good deal.
A Sunday drive. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toussaint, what do you say to that, man? I find my peace. Toussaint, what do you find your peace?
Believe it or not, I find it when I it's almost have to. I don't have to, but I'm sure of what He promised. Talking about what God has promised, and I see them unfolding. Man, in these 58 little years that I've lived, I've been through storm and rain. But I see how what years ago I believe that there were His promises to me, and then I see it unfolding. Here I am. I got kids. I got 14 grandchildren, and I'm seeing how my children are functioning, and I don't deserve. So what I'm saying is, when I get to the point that I say, okay, now you can stand on His promises and assure myself of that, you're talking about I ain't got no worries. I don't have a care in the world.
Yes, sir.
When I lean and I've convinced myself that you can trust God. Now that's a peace that passes all understanding. I can't even figure out why He's doing what He's doing in my life, no matter what the troubles or trials or whatever it is. And that's for all of us. So we can find, and I'm not trying to be spiritual or I'm just saying where I'm at. What gives me the peace that I need.
Yes, sir.
When I trust Him for what He said, man, what worry do I have? None.
Man.
Absolutely none.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Elder, what's on your heart? Elder? What's on your heart, Elder? Talk to me.
I had to
Hit
get
that
my
mute button, brother. Hit that
thing.
mute.
Now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Got me? Oh,
Yes.
okay. All these is just beautiful. How we're also put together so differently, but I would be remiss. I wouldn't. I do find my peace in my relationship and my times. Times I would be remiss if I would not leave that, not if I out. And
yes, sir.
And I was listening to my brother, and my heart was just going along with that. So that's so true. When you see God working at your promises, the things He's promised, and you begin seeing something happening. You ask God for something, and then it's happening. And you had a part in it. You were a co-worker with God in seeing this thing. Had you not been here, had you not done it, it would not have happened.
Wow.
And so, yes, that's powerful.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, thank you.
Rico, talk to me, brother.
I was thinking about what Rodney said, man. I actually had the pleasure last week of riding on the passenger side for about an hour and a half through Bowden, Georgia, and all through these back roads, man. And man, the woman I was riding was like, man, you just having a good old time. And I was just like this the whole time, looking at all these country scenery. And I was thinking about if I had a camera, how many pictures I could have taken and made postcards or birthday cards out of them. I was just like, man, it's some beautiful scenery. And I was just telling her how I was amazed and loved to see that. If I had one wish, I would probably travel every road in every city in this country just to see what it's like. Because I'm curious when I go through these small towns. I wonder what it's like on Friday night. What it is like on, you pass by the football stadium. I wonder what it's like down here on Friday night or on the weekend. What do they do? And man, I was thinking, I find more peace in bringing peace. I find peace and solving problems and creating and contributing to things that's beneficial or that helps. I really had to think about when I really find my peace, when I find it I'm like, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when it is when I can actually be an asset or contributor to good. I think that's when I really find my most peace. So I had to really think about it because, you know, that's a lot of joy in that peace.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
when you can just sit back and be like, man, you know what? Life is beautiful. I love life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you can feel that way when you save a life and you know you kept somebody from crying and mourning that night. You know they happy that you was there because you helped solve this problem, or you presented a situation that made a situation better for them. You know, maybe somebody fixing to get the bills cut off or something like that, and you just happen to be the one to run into them and say, okay, I'll pay them for you. When I say that, you know, talk that guy to suicide in New York, and I didn't even know he was gonna kill himself. You know,
yeah, exactly.
When he told me what happened and what he was planning on doing, when I walked away from that, I was like, man, I'm so glad that I went down to the bar that night because I didn't even drink. I just wanted to watch the Mets and the Yankees play, and this man caught me before the first inning, and I didn't even get to watch the game. The news was on, and we were still sitting there talking. But I was there for him at a time that was very critical. And that was a peaceful feeling knowing that when I left that night that I changed his direction of where he was headed that night, man. I mean, it's you know, I find peace in bringing peace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Rodney, talk to me, brother.
I was thinking about what Toussaint said. And I think, you know, all of us on this panel and perhaps listening have really came a long way in life. As we look back on where we started and where we came from, we could be at peace because of the individual accomplishments that we made, whether it be building a household, building a business, having grandchildren. We sit back and sometimes we all do it and reflect on where we came from, how we started out, how a lot of people didn't make it to the point that we made it to, and that we're sane and mostly in our right minds, and we're doing, you know, doing relatively well, whatever role we're in. So I think when we sit back and reflect on where we could have been, you know, and what we have accomplished, I think that's a piece right there. Because at times when I'm at home, I look at my house and say, when I met my wife, I was living in a 400 square foot house apartment, didn't even own it. You know, we didn't have any children, you know, didn't have anything going on. I said, over the years of accomplishment, you look back and say, this is what I've accomplished. I didn't waste my time on my labor or myself. And so when you reflect on where you could have been and the fact that you're still here and the fact that every one of us has made little contributions to somebody's life, we made somebody's life better at some point. And that should give everyone peace to know that their time on earth, it was not wasted, you know. So that's a little piece that I got from Toussaint, is that, you know, wherever you are in life, your success is based on your perception, you know, and everyone's successful. And so at the end of the day, you should be at peace with your accomplishments.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I like what he said, and especially like when Toussaint was mentioning things and often praying every day. It's brand new to me. And I never take anything for granted, because when you developing that, I remember one of the things that I used to desire studying Father Abraham was the fact that he was called God. He was known as God's friend. And what does it take to build that type of relationship?
Wow.
And that walk is amazing. Like Toussaint was talking about, when you get to that point where you actually depend on God. You know, it's not wishful thinking, but God has proven himself to you
over and over again. Absolutely.
Because I can honestly tell you, there's a lot of times when I have no clue, and God provides. He always has provided, which is the reason why I can seem
to be
so correct.
Mm-hmm.
because I've never gone anywhere by myself. I've never ever been by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's like because
Wow.
of this relationship with God that I've had since I was a little boy.
That's good. That's good. I sing because I'm happy. Oh, man, I wish I had that song queued up right now. I'll play that song right now, man, because it's so appropriate to this moment right now. But Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Well, it's interesting that two things that Rico said, right? If you like to drive, I've been on just about every road, literally, highway and byway, every town and city in the United States of America. And y'all can doubt what you want, but we can pull out any map, and I can do about hard, tell you where to go, how to get there from any point in the United States and Canada, for that matter, and Mexico. But the point is that, when you out there, backstory for all the interstates complete and everything in the middle of nowhere, you don't even see no head and tail lights for hours. You know what I mean? And the closest town might be 50 miles away. Or the closest gas station might be 50 miles, 100 miles away. And and it's so black out there, the headlights don't see the value light. Matter of fact, it's better off turning off your headlights so you can let the stars and the moon guide you. You can see the road better. But what I'm saying is that the innermost peace you have, the knowing that, like you said, that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
That there's somebody, there's somewhere, there is Allah is alive, Allah is real. And the walk Ibrahim took with Jehovah Allah was very profound, because he gave his life. He came to a conclusion by his own demise that there can only be a creator that did all this. He worshipped the stars, the moon, and he asked, that cannot be because it comes and goes. That cannot be my God. My God's constant.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the stuff in our whole story, right? But that's the most profound thing. I've been out in snow in places where if anything happened, maybe nobody even hear about me and know about it to the next spring, the next thaw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Been that kind of snow, kind of environment. And and I always left something or left a message or had something that somebody could hold on to if they did find me, when they find me, and years later. And I've seen people that run off the road, black couple, two couples in Indiana. They ran off the road into a creek. Nobody found them about 2 years.
Good
Somebody
Lord.
caught out there in the creek, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they found them. But you know what? They're not forgotten as long as somebody knows them, remembers them, who they were and what they did and what they meant to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but yes, God is with you always.
Absolutely.
And some situation I've been in by myself, at least I thought about myself, but I always look up and somehow there was a way for me to get through it. He put open for me, open up tunnels and light. My most depressed time, the hardest time in my life, he opened a door for me, showed me the way, and I followed. I had the intelligence to follow, right? But if we don't put forward the effort to do something, if you really believe and you have faith in something, you put forth the effort. You know that when you do this, it's going to work. Or if it don't work this time, it'll work eventually.
Exactly.
Keep trying, right?
Exactly.
Now that to me, that's different from belief and faith.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So okay, go straight.
We're about to get out of here, man. We're about to get out of here. We got 7 minutes before we get out of here, but I want to go around right now. Anybody got anything they want to say before we even go to the closing remarks? Anybody have anything on the heart?
Great turnout, black men.
Mm-hmm.
Keep turning out to vote. Keep telling people to vote. Keep taking people to vote.
Exactly.
You got to vote overwhelmingly in these elections.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because we see what the deal is, and it'll be nobody's fault but ours if we don't participate.
That's right. That's right. Anybody else? Good deal. Well, we're gonna go around.
I already voted. Please vote. Right. And also remember, start looking forward to 2024. Get out there and start looking and choosing and picking candidates going to represent you or represent your cause.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing to say.
Good deal. Well, we're about to go around and give everybody an opportunity to say what they want to say in their closing. Ibrahim, what you want to say in your closing, sir?
Well, I feel truly blessed and highly favored to listen to you guys and hear y'all stories and everything. It's just like, I could almost say, reflect on my story. And it matches with a lot of you guys. You know what I mean? And I'm really proud. I know a lot of times we get into these debates I get into because I want people to think. want you to be selfish or something. Just say so, and then it's okay. But there's a lot of knowledgeable men here, and I wish you pay a lot more attention to them and look at the thing in its whole. You know,
Mhm.
Occam's razor. You know, the most simplest thing is true. You know, look at the whole concept of it. Just don't take words and verbiage and feelings and emotion. Look at the whole thing.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, understand the history around it. Put it in context. You
Mhm.
know what you know,
Now,
and question what you know.
now, Ibrahim, I say closing remark. I ain't say no sermon. Now I said a closing remark. I ain't say no sermon. You about to give a sermon now.
You talking my life.
Look at you about
You
look,
talking my
Ibrahim.
life,
You
bro.
you're about to give a sermon now, Ibrahim. Now we got to get on out of here, man. It's 10 o'clock, man.
Well,
There you go.
the mountain come to me. I
Oh
go
Lord.
to the
Watch this.
mountain.
Watch this. I gotta hit my mute button because I don't know where he about to go right now. I don't know where he about to go. He done, I got to find my mute button because I have no idea where he about to go. But Toussaint, in your closing, sir.
Life it ends up strange,
Mm-hmm.
but when it manifests itself, you learn to appreciate it.
Yes.
And I think that happens to all of us sooner or later. And I think that where we are now, all of us, we're beginning to see that clearly, more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God for that. That's basically all I want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Leonard, in your closing, sir. And don't you start singing.
Man, it was good. You ain't got to worry about that. I just want to say it was good being with you all this evening, and keep all those people that are suffering right now in your prayers,
Yes.
because I do believe we can turn this thing around, but we got to do better at being kind to one another.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rico, in your closing, sir.
Yeah, I'm right along the same lines, man. I mean, I was having a conversation with somebody earlier about the overwhelming amount of homelessness I see everywhere I go, from state to state, city to city. I'm seeing an abundance of homelessness, and there's a lot of traumatized people and struggling people out here in these streets. And then we got some more sad news about another young black rapper, except this one was a major star this time, and the math is adding up to we losing a rapper every 1.5 days.
Mm-hmm.
For the past 2 or 3 years. I think last year was like 257 rappers got killed, and this year it might be more. This year was more major, well-known rappers slaughtered.
Mm-hmm.
That behavior is dangerous, man. And the thing is it's profitable, and these children, they want to get involved in it. First opportunity they get, these young males, they want to be rappers. They don't care about the consequences. That's a hazardous job now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is those guys are turning into endangered species, and the problem is the younger generation still want to jump into that occupation. So we gotta find some type of way to be better examples, man, and I'm gonna say distract them and guide them, or I'm gonna say attract them to another way.
Exactly, and that's good. That's good. Elder, in your closing, sir. Elder.
I've been away from the guys for a while, and I just appreciate the discussion tonight. We talked about things that tonight, and I love the array we had and the responses to them. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Hey, likewise, Elder. Definitely likewise. Rodney, in
Yes,
your
sir.
closing. In your closing,
Yes.
sir.
All right, just want to let everybody know. Yeah, I took my family out to vote last week. We all voted. It's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And on the lines of what Rico was talking about, I was kind of thinking about this before he mentioned it. We have a lot of good black men on this panel and in the community. I think we take time out to talk to younger men that are willing to listen, give them some insight on our experiences, and try to just, I'm not going to say mentor them, but at least talk to them, let them know that there's other choices in life to make. There's other opportunities. The decisions you make are not, they can be life-changing, but they don't have to be permanent. A lot of times these young guys feel that they have no hope. They think they're inventing the wheel. The wheel's already been reinvented already, but they just need an elder person, older male to say, son, I've been through that before. I've done it. It didn't turn out well. or I did it, it turned out well.
Mhm.
So the wealth of information we have, don't sit on it, just share it with some young man.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, I appreciate everybody on the panel. It was a great night.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me see, Rico. We are do the morning glow every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But on Wednesday morning, it's something a little special about Wednesday. We actually look here. We let our hair down on Wednesdays. We don't have a topic on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We have on Wednesday. We don't have a topic, but we got a special name. What's it called?
Called Way Out Wednesday.
Way Out Wednesday. So if you have an opportunity, I want y'all to join us for Way Out Wednesday on the morning glow from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Same bat place, same bat channel. Come and join us in the morning. We love to have your input. Now, Elder, if you don't mind, Elder, can I get you to pray us out?
Yes, sir.
Elder Lucky Rose. Okay, go ahead, Elder. Pray us out, sir.
Okay. Father, we want to thank you, Lord, for the opportunity that we have had to be together, even even though we're in different places. The participants and the people on the panel, we thank you for those who are listening, and we thank you for the wisdom that you have shared with each of us, that we can be able to be an asset to someone else. We just thank you for this. We thank you for Rahim, and thank you for his ministry, for DKM Ministries. We just pray that you bless it, and that this word will go out really to a lot of people, that people hear about this program and join with us and benefit from it. We just thank you now in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. More than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and Real Men Being Men for being a part of your evening. It is now 10:02. You're about to exit Real Men Being Men. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from Real Men Being Men. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great evening. Take care of each other. See you tomorrow. God say the same. Love you. Stay blessed, each and every one of you.
Goodbye.
Do.